If you're looking for the cheapest and most reliable Madden 22 coins on the market, check out my sponsor, MMOEXPR.com. Links are in the description, and use code JEDI at checkout for 5% off. Alrighty, hey there guys, Adrian Costa here, aka Jetterbo95, coming at you guys with another video. So in this video is going to be my best defensive abilities for Madden 22. Now this is probably going to be the last one I do for the year, as you know, golden tickets are right around the corner, and obviously, you know, this game is nearing the end of its lifespan. Even though we still have a little bit more content than people want to give it credit for, you know, we still have the draft promo, we still have rookie premiere, Easter promo is probably going to be this week, depending on when this video comes out. But obviously, you know, we still got a little bit of ways to go, so things could change. You know, we might get surprised with one final AP update. I seriously doubt it, because I do think at this point in the year, what's the point? But, you know, it is what it is. But with that being said, guys, before we do get into the video, let me ask you guys to take a quick second to hit the red subscribe button if you are not already. Thank you. And also leave a like. Both things in question that I just asked you to do help me out in the channel and the algorithm significantly. Both inspire me to continue to wanting to do YouTube videos, and both things in question can help get this video out there to other people to see, and let them see what I have for my best abilities, and you say which ones they think are better and which thing they think are worse, yada yada yada, all that stuff. Also, leave a comment. Comments are what I would prefer to see more of. Obviously, I love to interact with people. I love to interact with you guys. So if you could leave a comment on what you think are the best defensive abilities are, and let me know on what abilities to try, why you think certain ability isn't as good as I say it is, let me know. But with that being said, guys, let's get into the video. So how we're going to group these is we're going to group these into defensive linemen, linebackers, and secondary. Okay, we're going to group these into linebacker. And also, if the linebacker in question is a pass rushing linebacker, we're going to include him in defensive lineman. Okay, just because, you know, I don't really want to waste the time with that, and also because, you know, they're basically defensive linemen. So but we'll start off with Jadeveon Clowney, because technically speaking, he is a pass rusher. So in my opinion, the best pass rushing ability is Edge Threat Elite. 3 AP on the Edge Threat Elite for ends. For defensive ends, left and right end. Obviously, it's very good value, even if you just do it this way. Even if you just have it for the under pressure portion, it is still 3 AP. And under pressure and edge threat at the same time is 4 AP. So obviously, you're saving 1 AP by getting this extra, by getting this ability with a 2-in-1. I love Edge Threat Elite. I have gone back to it because I did want those extra pass rush, dominant pass rush moves. And you know what? Even if it does hinder my pass rush a little bit, I'll take it for those extra dominant wins, because when it does light up and take over a game, it is dominant and does take over a game. But if you do want to stick with the regular edge threat or under pressure, both things are fine too. I really do think if you had to pick between the two, you would do under pressure, especially if you like to set up a lot of contains on your defensive lineman. But we all know contains just don't work in Madden. So, but under pressure, I would definitely utilize more than the Edge Threat Elite. But, you know, Double or Nothing is also a really good pass rush ability. But the good thing about the Double or Nothing compared to Edge Threat and Edge Threat Elite is because this ability works on not just on the edge, but also on the defensive tackles. So if you put, say, Jadeveon Clowney here at Rush DT, this Double or Nothing will work on the interior of the defensive line. So be that as it may, do what you do want to do with it. If you want to have a good pass rushing defensive tackle, by all means, go nuts. Defensive rally, I am not high on this ability. I know some people have come around to using it. I am personally not high on this ability at all. I don't think it's a waste of AP, but I just don't think it's as good as people think it is. And I said that when EA dropped it to 1 AP in the update back in February. It was after the Super Bowl. It was shortly after the Super Bowl. I just didn't think it was going to be good. Also, unpredictable, I also think is a good ability too. Having the ability to add less likely to add sheds to blocker resistance, I think is sweet. Definitely probably going to add unpredictable on my edge rushers when I do get a safety with 99 speed. Because right now I have to put on an acrobat on my free safety in order to be able to try and play him in the deep middle of the field. Because I do like to run a little bit of cover 3. But majority of the time I like to try to be a base cover 3 defense. But, having that acrobat will definitely help me get to sideline, hopefully. But, unpredictable, I still think is really, really good. These pass rush moves like Spinner, Swim Club, Ripper, and Speedster, I have not tried. I've wanted to try these, but I don't necessarily think they're that good. But pass rush stuff. Also, El Toro, I also think is really good. But pass rushers, I think, have a good amount of abilities to go with, and I do think that a pass rushers still think that I still think pass rushers have a good set of abilities, but it is what it is with them. Obviously, if you're defensive tackles, since we're going to include them in here too, obviously, if you have a run stopper in defensive tackle or defensive end, I cannot recommend 1 AP inside stuff enough because this ability just, it may not activate every single play, but when it does, it can be the difference between a 4th down conversion and a turnover on downs. It is an amazing ability. I love inside stuff. I'm paying for 3 AP for inside stuff because Sheldon Richardson actually gets it for 2 AP. But in my opinion, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with paying 3 AP for 2 inside stuffs because I just do not want to get ran the ball down my throat consistently. I just don't want to have to deal with that shit. So it is what it is with that. So continuing on with linebackers now, because again, like I said, Clowney, he's a pass rusher, but linebackers, in my opinion, if you don't have lurker on your linebackers, you're not playing with your linebackers correctly. You need this ability on your linebackers in order for them to jump and catch a pick. Is that fair? No, I think it's dumb. I think that you should have the ability to jump and catch a pick by fucking default, but I'm not the one who makes this game. I just make the content and just talk about the game and what I think is bad about it, because that is the nature of this game. Not that I'm saying that the community is bad for it. It's just, yeah. But lurker, I cannot recommend this ability enough. Having this ability on your linebackers will make your linebackers jump to catch a pick. And also, you don't need to be using them. I talked about this in my last video. I don't have a clip this time around, but you guys did see my last video on the AP update. I didn't mean last video, but if you saw my last video on AP on the best defensive abilities, you would know that I actually did get a pick with Junior Seau without using him with lurker. So that is a common misconception that I'm going to let you guys in on. You don't need to be using the card in order to have lurker to activate. You can just have it on the field and go nuts. So there's that. But when it also comes to other abilities, my controller just decided to crap out on me. Give me like a second here. My wireless controller, decided just to stop working. Hang on a sec. There we go. But other abilities, Out My Way, I'm definitely a fan of Out My Way, especially against those run-heavy guys that just love to just run the ball and run the ball and run the ball. Definitely would try Out My Way, but but when it comes to other things, like there are more pressing abilities, in my opinion, then would make me just rather have not use Out My Way. Deflator and Crusher, I would actually use Deflator before I would use Crusher, because Deflator is all non-conservative tackles, whereas Crusher is just hit sticks. So definitely would go with that. Enforcer is also really good, but I would actually use Secure Tackler because it actually is a very good ability. It helps with those broken tackles, but it does activate on hit sticks. It does allow you to get a hit stick, a guaranteed hit stick most of the time. Actually, I shouldn't say guaranteed most of the time. Most of the time, it will light up on a hit stick. When you hit stick a guy, he will drop with Secure Tackler. So if you want to if you don't want to get Enforcer and you want something more versatile that can help with both conservative and hit sticks, definitely go get Secure Tackler. I do actually love this ability. I want to find a way to add it to my defense, but I don't think I'm going to be able to because I just have so many other abilities that I want to use for this team. So that is basically it for linebackers. Just lurker and a couple of other abilities. They don't really have a whole lot. Defensive backs, on the other hand, now defensive backs have some good abilities that I love. First off, Pick Artist. I still think Pick Artist is the best defensive ability in the entire game. Better catching and improved stamina on interception returns. I think Pick Artist is still very, very good. I love this ability. In my opinion, it is incredibly overpowered. Same with Deep Route KO. The fact that, even just mentioning Deep Route KO, I threw up on my mouth a little bit because I cannot stand this Deep Route KO bullshit. And the fact that EA never touched it was just bonkers to me, along with Escape Artist on Next Gen. But Deep Route KO, I still think is incredibly overpowered. Obviously, the mid route KOs or whatnot are okay. Flat Zone KO, though, I actually think it's pretty good. I actually do think flat zone KO is really, really good. So a common misconception with these flat zones, let me talk about this real quick, because one thing I have noticed with flat zone KO is it does light up when my flat zone KO player is in a like a hook curl or a vert hook or a um actually I think that's it. But one thing I've noticed is that if the zone in question is to play like from the line of scrimmage to about 10 yards past it, then then it activates. But if it's more than that, then I think that's where mid zone KO comes in. But I personally would still use her flat zone. Mid zone, in my opinion, is just straight up not good anymore. Deep in and out zone KO, I think are fine. Well, deep in zone KO, just straight up awful. It doesn't work. But deep out zone KO, I think is very, very good for an ability. Acrobat, I still think is incredibly good value for diving swats and interceptions, but I wouldn't go too heavily into acrobats. I do feel like they definitely they're not as good anymore as I think a lot of people want to think. And don't get me wrong, acrobat is still good, but I would rather take the chance to having the guaranteed pick rather than diving and whiffing, you know? Now, getting those diving animations is helpful, don't get me wrong, and it is great, but I would rather just not worry about it like that. Lurker on DBs, don't use this ability. Don't use Lurker on DBs. It's straight up not worth it. I don't think it's a very good ability as well. But, you know, you got some good abilities for the defensive backs. Obviously, man corners will get one step ahead and deep route KO. Now, let me touch on one step ahead, and let me address a common misconception of this ability. The common misconception of this ability is it will allow you to just play routes for you. And while that is true to an extent, more than likely, if you already have a player with high speed, acceleration, agility, man coverage, you're more than likely going to already have that. But what one step ahead does do is it neutralizes route technician or slot-o-matic. So if you have a one step ahead guy on, say, for example, a route tech, the route tech will not light up. So basically, it will make an even make an even exchange between one step ahead and route tech. So again, it's up to you if you want to not I wouldn't say waste, but if you want to use your AP on one step ahead, go nuts. I personally am not a fan of it. I think 5 AP is way too much a cost for me to justify it, and having three of them be having three on this team would be insane. So I wouldn't even worry about it that much. So, pardon me. There is one last ability that I wanted to highlight. I'm going to go to DK Metcalf for this one. And it is bench press. There it is. Now, I don't necessarily know how this ability is. Same with chuck out. Well, this one actually works on zone. This is like the zone version of bench press. But let me know, guys, how good bench press / chuck out is. I don't know how good it is, but I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are for that. So, film study also I would use, but it's 5 AP, and I think at a certain point, you know, if you've seen a play over and over again, like, it shouldn't be that hard to stop. But then again, this is Madden 22, where you can make all the adjustments in the world and you still will get bombed because, you know, defense in this game just is non-existent. So with that being said, guys, that is going to do it for the year, for the video. I mean, I hope you guys did enjoy. Not the year, I'm not going away, trust me. I hope you guys did enjoy, but if you guys did, hit the like button below and subscribe if you guys are new. Once again, both things are free. Both things you can do. You can unsub and unlike at any time. And both things can help you get this video out there so that other people can see this video as well. But that's going to do it, guys. I'll see you in the next video. I'm out.